Hello, hello, hello. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Wherever you may be around the world, welcome to a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and you are taking care of everything you need to take care of this week. Summer is already here. Wow. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about birthright citizenship and things like that. And but I do have a video that's going to further, go into detail about it. And it's still this thing is still in debate, and eventually there will be a clarification about the 14th Amendment, and everyone will get to hear the president Donald Trump will clarify and into the courts once and for all the meaning of the 14th Amendment, the birthright citizenship. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Listen to it, and I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is Congressman Randy Weber. Congressman, I appreciate you coming on today.
Glad to be here. Thank you for what you do, Brittany. You're getting the word out.
Of course, and I appreciate you for coming on once again. It has been a busy week, to say the least, especially for President Donald Trump. First week of his second term, and he has hit the ground running, signing a swath of executive orders. One of them being about ending and changing the definition of birthright citizenship. House Republicans introduced and you endorsed the Birthright Citizenship Act. So to start the conversation off, can you explain the legislation?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's really pure and simple. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV, obviously, but it's really pure and simple on behalf of the American people. When someone breaks the law and comes across our border, and let's face it, without having the proper documentation, the visa stuff, going through the process, they're breaking the law. They are by definition a criminal when they step across the country's line, your border. And so just because they come here illegal and they have a baby, that should not entitle them to actually be anchored here in the United States any more than we would say if somebody came over and broke the law, broke into a house or into a store, or vilely aggravated some. There's been some rapes and there's actually been some deaths, killed women and men too, for that matter. And that doesn't entitle them to have the benefits of America. And that's what this is about. The 13th and 14th Amendment was about protecting American citizens. Our founders of this country, Brittany, in my opinion, never foresaw the fact that illegals would come in here, they would break the law, and somehow we would just say, oh, come on over, it's no big deal. That wasn't their intent.
You brought up the 14th Amendment, and as you know, the executive order has faced plenty of backlash, and I want to get into that. A federal judge this week paused it. He called it blatantly unconstitutional. An immigration attorney I talked to about it earlier this week said getting this past the finish line would essentially amount to mission impossible. So how does this legislation plan to go over these legal hurdles?
Well, I think we have to all agree, and like I already said, I'm not an attorney, and you talked to an immigration attorney. Great, they all go through some of these schools that are a bit more liberal for my taste, but nonetheless, the Supreme Court has made multiple rulings where they got it wrong. They said, for example, that African Americans, could be counted as 3/5 of a citizen. They had to overturn that ruling. They also said that separate but equal bathrooms for blacks were okay. They had to overturn that ruling. And someone's extremely pro-life, they said it's okay to kill unborn children, and that ruling was overturned. So just because this is some kind of ruling perceived by the Supreme Court, they interpreted the 14th Amendment one way or another, whether it's federal district court or Supreme Court, whatever it was, they're just wrong, and I believe it'll be overturned.
Quick question about what this does for the past. Would this retroactively strip people of citizenship who were born here to non-citizen parents, or would this look at babies born going forward?
Well, it depends on how the law would come out. When you've got somebody here that's violent, if they have a violent crime against this country, whether theft or whatever, if they've got children, your heart goes out to them. But again, you cannot you cannot just simply say that they need to stay. Now, Brittany, my bride of 48 years taught fourth grade 27 years, and I was in the Texas House. I was on the Public Education Committee, and when you let there was 300,000 people came across, I think, December before last. Brittany, if 20% of those were kids, kindergarten through 12th grade, that's 60,000 children somebody has to pay to educate. Guess who that somebody is, Brittany? It's us, the American people. Why should the American people have to pay for illegals here? Now, let's fast forward to another thing. When those illegals who don't have any kind of health care go into a hospital or a clinic or something like that because they need attention from a medical expert, our great medical people, they're going to take care of them. They're not going to get paid. And so what are they going to have to do in order to keep their business going? They're going to up their prices on American citizens. Again, America cannot afford to be the charity for the world.
You are a representative in Texas, which is obviously a border state. You and I spoke last year about the border, about border security, about tougher immigration. I'm sure you faced criticism from this legislation, from the executive orders, Republicans in general, that this is anti immigration. What do you say to that?
Well, you're right. I do. In my congressional district 14, which is the upper Gulf Coast of Texas, 1/3 of the Gulf Coast, um, we are very, very conservative. And my district completely understands exactly what I just said. These people are coming over here for a free ride. They're breaking the law. They're going to get health care free. They're going to get education free. I harken back to what I said earlier. America cannot afford to be the charity for the rest of the world. There's a reason that Constitution, that Congress sets immigration and naturalization quotas. They decide what's best for America. People in other countries don't get to decide what's best for America. My district understands that, and sometimes people say about me, Brittany, well, Weber, you just are against immigration. And I say, listen, no, I'm not, because my great grandfather and my grandfather came over on the boat from Germany in 1903. My grandfather was 9. I never got to meet my great grandfather. He died in 1947. I was born in 1953. But I knew my grandmother came over on the boat from Germany. Her family did in 1845 and settled in Texas. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for immigration. It just has to be right. It has to be fair, and it has to be something that actually benefits the American public. And right now, the way it's going, it does anything but benefit the American public.
I know this was just introduced this week, but what do you think is the likelihood of this getting passed? Do you think A, every Republican will vote for it, and B, immigration, as we know, was a top issue this election season? Almost every voter I talked to, immigration came up in the conversation everywhere from Iowa voters to Pennsylvania voters, every voter in between. And Democrats seem to have gotten the message because your Democrat colleagues, some of them, over 40 of them, voted for the Lake and Riley Act. So do you think you could get some Democrats on board as well?
Well, that's a good point, Brittany. And here's what I would say to that. I think they're getting the message from the American public. I think they watched what happened where Trump won all 6 of the swing states. I think they watched what happened where the Republican message was too many Americans are being injured. Some of the women raped, some killed, sadly, as you know. And so I think the Democrats have actually admitted that their message was way off base, way out of touch with the American public. That's what happened, and which is sad for me in this respect. Why didn't they know that it's not okay to have illegals come in here, break into houses, beat up men, pistol whip women, rape and kill some of them? Why did it take this for Democrats to finally wake up? So I think the Democrats are getting the word.
And what has your conversation about this legislation been with colleagues? What does that look like?
Well, basically the same thing, that Trump's on the right track. We're all on that same track. And yes, that the Democrats are waking up.
So definitely, this is gonna go to court, and the president will win. So everything has a time and its place, and this is definitely the year for everything to. And I can understand about that because when you are a citizen of a country, you have to know at least most thing about the country, right? But due to the birth tourism, they made a business out of that, and just a lot of different agency profiting and people coming here to the U.S. on visitors visa for the sole purpose to give birth and leave right away, you know, with that child, and they go overseas with the child, and they'll send the child over here when it's convenience for them. And basically, you not only you have a parents that's not citizen of the U.S. with they know nothing about the U.S., but they also have a child that is citizen of the U.S. that know definitely nothing about the U.S. because they grew up overseas, and a lot of time most of them don't even grow up to speak English and learn the history of the United States and things like that. So anyway, I can understand everything, and I know that for once and all for all, everything will be clear, and the president uh will win this case, and especially those people that's come in not only by plane, but they come by boat, on foot, purposely, especially those that are illegal. They come pregnant to the US just to give birth, so they can take advantage of the welfare system and everything that the US has to offer a child. You see? So, anyway, the party wasn't gonna go on forever, right? So, as we know that we are living in days that are very different, tough days, hard days. So, to me, nothing surprises me anymore at all. And I really don't make a big deal out of anything anymore. You see, because I'm not shocked or surprised about whatever that's taking place. The only thing that we can do is everyone needs to take care of themselves, worry about yourself, and make sure that you are taking care of you. Because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody's gonna do that for you, right? Okay, so this is all I have to say. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. And you can also comment below if you like, okay, about the video that I played, and look out for more videos to come, okay. And I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. I want to say a special thank you to that person. There was one lady that sent me a donation. I want to thank you so much. I don't want to say your name due to privacy, because a lot of people don't like that, and I'm not gonna be doing that. But thank you so much for donating to PayPal. I appreciate it. And guys, everything you need to know will be in the description box below. Okay, if you wanna email me and whatever. Okay, take care, guys, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.